Roki Sasaki just made a shocking decision that has the entire baseball world talking, and Dodgers fans, you need to hear this. The latest reports are revealing exclusive details about his game, his future plans, and what this could mean for a potential move to Major League Baseball. Experts are saying he's not just a top prospect, he could be the most dominant pitcher of his generation, and with the Dodgers already making massive moves in international talent, could Sasaki be the next big addition? His test performance updates are insane, and if this happens, it could change everything. Stay tuned because we're breaking it all down right now. Roki Sasaki has just sent shockwaves through the baseball world, and if you haven't seen this yet, you need to pay attention because what we're about to break down could change everything. This latest update isn't just another rumor. We now have exclusive details that reveal just how dominant Sasaki's game has become, and why teams including the Los Angeles Dodgers are watching his every move with extreme interest. For months, the speculation surrounding Sasaki's future in Major League Baseball has been heating up. Scouts have been raving about his potential, but now we have fresh insight into his development, his velocity, his control, and even some hidden aspects of his game that have gone unnoticed until now. If you thought he was just another top prospect, think again, because what we're hearing suggests that Sasaki isn't just great, he could be generational. First, let's talk about his pure talent. There are very few pitchers in the world who can throw a baseball at 102 mph with pinpoint accuracy, and Roki Sasaki is one of them. His fastball isn't just fast, it has late movement, making it nearly impossible for hitters to square up, and when you combine that with his devastating splitter, which has been described as almost unhittable, you start to realize just how dominant this guy really is. But here's where things get really crazy. We've just learned that Sasaki has been working on refining his breaking pitches, particularly his slider and curveball, while his fastball and splitter have always been his primary weapons. Recent reports from insiders in Japan suggest that he's adding even more depth to his arsenal, and if he perfects these secondary pitches, he could be even more dangerous than we initially thought. Why does this matter so much? Because in the major leagues, hitters eventually adjust to dominant fastballs and splitters, but if Sasaki truly masters these breaking pitches, it means he can stay ahead of the competition and make the transition to MLB even smoother. But let's not just talk about his pitches, let's talk about his mentality. We now have reports indicating that Sasaki's work ethic and dedication to improvement are off the charts. His training routines, his diet, his preparation, everything about him screams elite. And that's what separates good pitchers from true legends. The best players in the world don't just rely on talent, they push themselves to get better every single day, and Sasaki is proving he has that mentality. So if we already knew he was a dominant pitcher, why are these latest details so important? Because it confirms that he's still getting better, and that's terrifying for opposing hitters. Now let's talk about the impact this could have on the Dodgers and other major league teams. If you've been following the Dodgers' offseason moves, you know they've gone all in on international talent, especially from Japan, with Shohei Ohtani and Yoshinobu Yamamoto already in Dodger blue. Adding Roki Sasaki would be the ultimate power move. Think about what that could mean for the Dodgers' rotation. Imagine a future where their pitching staff includes Yamamoto, Glasnow, Buehler, and Sasaki. That's a rotation that could dominate for years to come, and it would solidify the Dodgers as the most dangerous team in baseball. But here's the thing, the Dodgers aren't the only team watching closely. Teams like the Yankees, Mets, and Giants are also in the mix, and with this latest development, you can bet that the competition to land Sasaki is going to be intense. But here's where the Dodgers might have the upper hand. Having Shohei Ohtani and Yoshinobu Yamamoto already on the roster could be a huge factor in recruiting Sasaki. MLB insiders believe that Japanese players tend to feel more comfortable transitioning to the majors when they have other Japanese stars around them, and the Dodgers have built an environment that makes that transition seamless. So what happens next? Well, we know that Sasaki is still under contract with his NPB team, but the question is, when will he make the jump to MLB? Recent reports suggest that he could wait a couple more years to maximize his contract value, since younger players are restricted under the current posting system. But if he decides to make the move sooner, teams will be lining up with massive offers. And that leads us to another key question. If the Dodgers truly believe they have a shot at landing Sasaki in the near future, does that impact their current trade and free agency plans? Would they hold back on making a big trade at the deadline, knowing they could add a generational talent like Sasaki in a year or two, or would they go all in now and still try to land him later? These are the types of front office decisions that could shape the future of the franchise. But let's not forget the bigger picture. If Sasaki truly develops into the pitcher many believe he will be, we could be looking at one of the greatest international talents to ever come to Major League Baseball. He already has the tools, the dominance, and the mentality. And now, with these latest reports confirming his continued growth, it's becoming clear that the hype is real. His dedication to film study is already being compared to some of the best minds in baseball. According to sources close to his team in Japan, Sasaki spends hours reviewing footage of both his own performances and the hitters he faces, breaking down every tiny detail of their swings, their weaknesses, and how they react to different pitch sequences. That level of preparation isn't common for a young pitcher, and it's another reason why scouts believe he's a once-in-a-generation talent. But here's the part that's really interesting. If you compare his trajectory to some of the most dominant pitchers we've seen in recent years, he's ahead of schedule. Let's talk about Shohei Ohtani for a second. Before he made the move to MLB, there were concerns about whether his pitching would translate at the highest level. Obviously, we now know that Ohtani is a generational two-way superstar, but even he needed some time to fully adapt to the majors. Roki Sasaki, on the other hand, might already have the type of skill set that allows him to dominate immediately. His fastball and splitter are already at an elite MLB level. His work ethic is undeniable, and now with these latest reports confirming he's refining his secondary pitches, we could be looking at a player who's ready to take over from day one. So how does this affect the Dodgers? Let's think about their long-term pitching strategy for a moment. As dominant as their current rotation looks on paper, they still have some question marks. Walker Buehler is returning from injury. Tyler Glasnow has a history of health concerns. Yoshinobu Yamamoto is an incredible talent, but he'll still need to adjust to major league hitters. And Clayton Kershaw, though an all-time Dodgers legend, is in the later stage of his career. So now we turn it over to you, Dodgers fans and baseball fans in general. What do you think about the latest reports on Roki Sasaki? Do you believe he could be a true ace in MLB? And if so, should the Dodgers do everything possible to get him? Or should they focus on their current team and worry about Sasaki later? Let us know in the comments below, because this is a story that's only going to get bigger from here. Adding a pitcher like Sasaki would ensure that the Dodgers remain dominant not just for the next couple of years but potentially for the next decade. Imagine a rotation featuring Yamamoto, Sasaki, Buehler, and maybe even a still dominant Glasnow. That's a nightmare for opposing teams, and it's the kind of rotation that wins multiple championships. Dodgers fans and baseball fans in general, we want to hear from you. Do you think Sasaki is the real deal? And if so, should the Dodgers go all out to get him? Or should they focus on their current roster for now? Let us know in the comments below, because this is one of the biggest stories in baseball right now. And if you want to stay up to date on every major Dodgers news drop, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a thing. We've got a lot more to cover and you won't want to miss what happens next. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next